What's up YouTube, it's Jordo here from dmNorthTV, and I am here today to show off a new little Twitch tool that we've created for the Dice Masters community. This video will be a little bit niche, mostly made for the content creators out there, so if you are one of those, please keep on watching. This is a great tool, you might find some use out of it. If you are not a Dice Masters content creator, keep watching the video, it'd be great. maybe it'll make you want to broadcast some Dice Masters content. Basically, what we're doing here, or what we have here, is a new tool. So let's jump right into this here. So what we're calling it, of course, is the Dice Masters Twitch Tools. Pretty obvious name here. If you are familiar with previously with OBS, Truby from Dice Coalition had a tool called the Dice Masters Source, and it was a little plugin for OBS that let you cycle through the cards or display the cards whatever worked best for you. This is essentially, well, what's happened with it is, we don't know if there was an update with OBS or an update with something, that the source is no longer working properly. So I've decided to see if I can make something else work, and that's what this is. This is something else. It's the same idea, it's the same functionality. The only difference is it's completely controlled through Twitch, and it is, yeah, it's fully customizable. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. So let's go over what you need here. So obviously, first thing you need is a Twitch account. Since you're controlling everything through Twitch, you need to be able to broadcast through Twitch. If you are a content creator but not a Twitch streamer, then I still recommend getting a Twitch account, because this is how you're going to control it. You'll still be able to use all the functionality of it. You just won't be streaming it. You'll just be able to kind of control it through Twitch. Those of you who are streamers, you're going to love it. It's great. Lots of shortcuts and pretty easy to use. So you need Twitch. You need OBS. I recommend OBS Studio over Streamlabs OBS. Just OBS Studio is just the better functionality, the better version of OBS. It's going to let you do everything. The other thing you are going to need is LioranBoard. So this, we've got a little download link in the article. Obviously, yeah, sorry, let's go back to the article. Obviously, go to dm-north.com. Find the article. This will walk you through the whole thing. It's got all the links you're going to need. But you're going to need LioranBoard. You're going to click on this download link. It's going to take you here. And this is the download page for LioranBoard. LioranBoard is think of it like it's a programmable stream deck for OBS. So you are going to be able to, it's going to tell OBS what it wants it to do and how it's going to create things, and OBS is going to do it. It's a great tool. I use it all the time for my streams. I highly recommend learning how to use it. Even for just the basics, it'd be great. But yeah, you're going to need LioranBoard. So you got OBS, you got Twitch, you now got LioranBoard. Get that installed, get that working, get that functioning. I'm not going to go over how to do that in this video. There are a million other videos on YouTube on how to do that, and they do a much better job than I can do. So get it, download it, install it, and come back when you're done, okay? Go on. I'll wait, it's okay. So we're going to assume you got that. The next thing you're going to need is this here, the Dice Masters Twitch Tool zip file. This is a zip file with exactly one file in it. When you download it, it is going to have this little file. Let's move this here. dmTwitchTools.ini. This is the deck that is going to need to go into LioranBoard. This is what does everything. So why don't we start with setting up LioranBoard. So you've got it installed, you got it working. We're going to assume that's all good to go. So you're going to download the Twitch tools from DM North. You are going to unzip the folder, or unzip the file. You're going to take this DM Twitch tools, you're going to copy this, okay? The next thing you're going to do is, well, let's shut down LioranBoard first, because it's not going to work. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the folder where you have installed LioranBoard. So hopefully you paid attention when you did that. Whether it's C, D, whatever drive it is, find it, and you're going to go into the LioranBoard receiver PC directory, okay? Ignore the tutorial part, that's for me. but yours will say LioranBoard receiver PC. Go in there and you're going to look at the configs.ini file, okay? You're going to look for the largest number that you have. Now you're going to ignore backups. We're going to delete that, pretend it's not there. So the way LioranBoard organizes its decks is it calls it configs 0, basically has no number, or configs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending how many decks you have. In this case, my deck only has one deck in it right now. I need to add this new one. So we're gonna paste that file, that Twitch tool, which apparently I already have in here. We're going to save it in there, and then you're going to need to rename it. Okay, what you're going to rename it to is you're going to look at your configs files, and you're going to go one number higher than your highest number. In this example, I actually have no number, so the highest number is 0, so we're going to go 1. If you have configs 4 on there, you're going to go configs 5, basically one number more than what you got. So in our case, we're going to go configs1.ini, rename it to that, and we're done. So we're going to start up LioranBoard, and I'll show you what it looks like. Let's minimize a couple windows here. So this is LioranBoard. Let's zoom out a little bit here. So basically, if you've got everything connected properly, it's going to go through all this stuff. It's listening to Twitch, chat, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to see, well, probably for you, one deck, maybe two, I don't know. The test deck is there just to tell me this is my tutorial LioranBoard. But basically, we're looking at this, the DM Twitch Tools Basic, I guess I named it, okay? This is this is the deck in LioranBoard that's going to do everything to make this tool work. So we're going to take a quick look at the inside of this. So when you click on the deck, this is what you're going to see here, okay? This here, the update player cards, this is the brains of the operation. I highly recommend you do not touch this. Everything is kind of set up to work based on naming certain names and whatnot. If you follow the names, everything will work. If you're curious though, just right click on it, hit edit commands, and you can walk through the code and see how it works, okay? But I don't recommend doing that. These little arrows really do nothing unless you're using this as a stream deck. It'll let you cycle through different boards. It's just there for cleanliness purposes. This button does nothing as well. It's just kind of a little where it came from, who contributed to it. Let's give a quick shout out to Truby and the Dice Coalition, because this is where the images are coming from. They've done such a great job for the Dice Masters community. This wouldn't work without them, so I do appreciate them letting us kind of tag on to that. Okay, so we've got 3 buttons that actually do things, well, 4 buttons. 3 buttons that you need to look at though. The team rotator button, this is the button that's going to rotate the card images. So if you remember the original Dice Master source, it would just be like a 1 card size, and it would cycle through all of the whole team. So each card was on for a few seconds, and then it would move to the next one, and the next one, next one, and just keep going through it. That's exactly what this is doing here. Same thing, okay? These are command buttons. This button tells the rotator to start. This tells the rotator to stop. So before you go any further, you do need to check a couple things here, because we found this out in testing that this may not have copied over properly. So you are going to right click on the team rotator button. You are going to look at the button ID here. In my case, it says ID 41. Your button may be different, okay? Just check and see what yours says, but just remember what that says. So ID 41, okay? Then you are going to need to go into edit commands, and you're going to go all the way to the bottom. Check out this right here, ID. It should be the same number as what you just saw there, okay? So it says 1 in there. In our case, it's going to be 41. We want to do that. Click done. It'll save. Then you're going to check the start rotator button for the exact same thing. You're going to edit the commands, and you're going to change this ID 41 or ID 1 to ID 41, okay? If you've done that, this will now work. If you haven't done that, none of this will work, okay? So do that, please. That covers LioranBoard. So now we have a working LioranBoard. We have the Dice Masters Twitch tools in LioranBoard. You have OBS, which we're going to go to next. And you got your Twitch account. So we're doing good so far. So click done. That'll just refresh everything. You can then minimize that. And I think we'll bump over to OBS. So in OBS, you can see this is kind of a blank OBS. There's really nothing going on here. What we've got here though are two scenes, player 1 and player 2, and I'll kind of use those to kind of demonstrate how the card thing actually works. But we need to now you will need to manually create 4 scenes, okay? One is going to be for the player 1 cards, one is going to be for the player 2 cards. These are going to be your base data set. This is basically what I call the scene you don't mess with. You just leave it alone, don't do anything with it, and life will be good, okay? From there, you're just going to make duplicates to do whatever you want. But you're also going to need a player 1 rotator scene and a player 2 rotator scene. So we're going to create those scenes right now. So if you are familiar with OBS, you are going to click in the scene section. You're going to click add scene. And I do recommend following this naming convention, but again, do whatever you want here. We are going to call this is a nested scene. So I like to use NS for that. This is for the game Dice Masters. And this is player 1 team. And I'm going to click OK. And because we're lazy, we're just going to duplicate that. And we are going to call that player 2 team. So now I've got my base scenes created. Now I need to create 10 sources in each of these scenes. And unfortunately, you do have to do this manually. So I apologize. We're going to do this. I'll kind of slowly go through one, and then we'll kind of hopefully speed up the video to get through the rest of them. So we're in player 1 Dice Masters team. We're going to go add a scene. We want to add a browser source. We want to name this browser source DM square brackets P1 for player 1, and again we want square brackets, and we're going to call this card 1. Okay. Now I highly recommend you copy that because typing that out is a pain in the ass. You're going to click OK. The browser source is going to pop up. We do not care what this says. Just leave it whatever it says. The only thing you need to change at this point is the width and the height. The width needs to be 368. The height needs to be 510. You're going to click OK. And there you go. You've got that's going to be your Dice Masters card eventually. Right now it's not. Okay. So now what we got to do is create, again, each one manually. You can't copy and paste these. So we're going to zip through this here. Again, hopefully through the video, we are going to speed this up, but all you're going to do is you're going to paste the name in here. You're going to name this card 2. Okay. You're going to click OK. You got to change the width again to 368 and the height to 510. Click OK. And then I recommend we move it over, and that's just to show you what's going to be happening here. Okay. And so on and so on. So we're going to keep doing this, and then hopefully the video will return back to normal in just a minute. And there we go. That is player 1's basic scene set up. We'll come back to this in a minute. Unfortunately, I got to do the exact same thing for player 2. Now, the only difference between player 1 and player 2, you're going to go into that scene, you're going to create a new browser source. We're going to continue pasting, except we're going to change this back to card 1. And this time, instead of square brackets P1, we're going to do P2. We're going to copy that, click OK. Exact same thing. We're going to the 368 by 510. And enjoy the intermission again. Done! Okay, that is the most lengthy part of this whole process. You now have 2 scenes. You've got a player 1 scene with player 1 through 10 cards. Just double check you got the names right. And you've got player 2 scenes, player 1 through 10 cards. Now, we'll make the rotator thing in a second here. So let's just show that it actually works now, okay, with these base scenes. So what we need now is we need the team builder. So let's go here. Let's create a completely randomized team just to show that everything is on the up and up. So we're going to click random, 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 7. One more card that's not going to be random because you need this on every single team just for the global, right, Kim? Okay, So we got our whole team added in there. You are going to go to the view team link. You are going to copy this team link. Everyone is familiar with this, hopefully. You are going to copy the link address. You are going to now go back into your OBS, and we need to get to your Twitch. So basically, in your Twitch chat, this is how you're going to do things, okay? So to get the images to show up here, so I'm actually just going to move this over here so you can actually see the images here. We are on the player one scene. Sorry, had to do that first because this is going to be player one's team. So in the Twitch chat, you are going to enter !player1 space and just paste in the team link. If everything is set up properly, the images will now show up. Cross your fingers. Bam! Just like that, the team is added in there. That is how simple it is to add the team. So to change the team, you're going to add !player1, new team link. It instantly changes. Okay, that's team one. Let's grab a team for team two. Let's go back here, edit here, clear team. This time we'll make a completely. Well, let's get rid of the back keys. We don't want the back keys this time. This is a nice team. Random. So hopefully we end up with a flip card because I do want to show you that. So I am going to cheat again. We're not going to have one not random card because we need a flip card because these are the bane of the content creator's existence. We're going to copy this. We are going to go back to our OBS and we're going to open up our Twitch chat again. Oops, this time, sorry, we want to be on player 2's screen. We're going to type !player2 space, paste in this team link. Bam. Now, as you can see, we have a small problem. All of these cards look wonderful, except that one. Unfortunately, just the way the team builder has put in the flip cards, they get resized funny. So the option was either those are going to be really small or the other one's going to be obnoxiously big. I chose for the small one. It works. It's okay. Is it perfect? No, but it is what it is. So that's what flip cards are going to look like. Okay, so great, Jordo. We got the images in there. That's awesome. How do we do something with them now? Okay, let's bounce back out, and we'll come back to our Twitch chat in a bit. So basically, let's do the rotator now. Okay, we covered everything. Yeah. Okay. So because we've created these two scenes, our life is simple from here on out. So you are going to duplicate the player one scene, and you're going to call it you're just going to add the team rotator. Just in case we can't see, let's zoom in on that. So you want to make sure you name it this, the nested scene dmPlayer1 team rotator, and that should work. Click OK. You're going to do the same thing with team 2. You're going to duplicate that. You're just going to add rotator at the end. And OK. So now let's just quickly turn off all of these because we want to show that the rotator will work. And we're going to get rid of team 1's as well. So all of the cards are now invisible. We're going to go back to our Twitch chat and we're going to start rotate. And if we've done it right, we'll see on the screen here that each card will show up for approximately, I think it's 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. And it's going to go through the whole thing. So we can see this happening on team 1. Let's get rid of the Twitch chat. And if we go to team 2, the same thing's happening. Each card is showing up at the same time. So card 1 and card 1 on each team are showing up. However, this doesn't look very nice. So what we got to do is we got to center these. We got to put them somewhere where we can use them later. So you're going to go to card, let's zoom in because that's always helpful. You're going to go to each one of these sources. You're going to go to transform and you're going to go to center to screen. Okay. And then you're going to just copy that transform. And then you're going to go to each one and paste the transform. Basically, you want to put each card in the exact same spot. And then you'll see as it's rotating, it'll make more sense here. And there we go. So you can see now the cards are rotating. Oh, you can't see right now. Now you can see the cards are rotating over top of each other. So one goes on, one goes off, one goes on, one goes off. That's it. We're set up now for rotations. So let's go to the scenes here. So we're going to go to the player 1 scene. And what we're going to do again is in here, this is where you're going to have all your overlays and whatnot for your games. You're going to add something new here. You're going to add a scene as a source, and you're going to pick the rotator. So this is player 1. So now that scene that you have up here is actually in here as a source. So you can resize it, make it as bigger. You can do whatever you want with it, and you can put it anywhere on the screen here. And just for funsies, let's just put them both on the same page here. So now we're going to add the player 2 team rotator so you can see them side by side. And we can change that, or maybe player 2 is like active and maybe that's going to show up differently. So now, you didn't see none of that. Now you've got both things. Let's move this over a little bit. You've got both things on the same screen and they're rotating through the cards at the same time. So that's how a nested scene works. Basically, it's taking this part that you've made up here, and any changes you make to this will now be reflected here. So if I move something around, if I move one card around, it's gonna put it somewhere else on the screen there. So that's the basics. If you wanted a rotating card, it's done now. To stop the rotation, you're gonna go into your chat, hit ! end rotate. Let's just do that for completion's sake. ! end rotate, and it's just going to go through one more cycle of the cards, and then it's going to stop. So when it gets through card 10, it's just going to shut off, which I think are the basic action cards if I recall. So we'll just wait for that to happen. In the meantime, like I said, if that's what you wanted for your Dice Masters content, you're done. It's created. You don't have to do anything else. If you want to do a little bit more, I'm going to show you just a wee bit more with this this setup here and how it's customizable. I just want to make sure this does shut down, which should be after the next card, and it should turn off. Bingo, perfect. Okay, so let's go back, and now say you don't like the layout of the rotator. You want something a little fancier. So again, we're going to take our source here that we're never ever going to touch again. We're going to duplicate this, and we're going to call this player 1 team, we'll call it playmat view. This naming doesn't matter. Beyond the first 4, you can name whatever you want. But let's play around with this. So say you want to have the cards set up like they would be on a playmat. Essentially, you just resize these. You're going to click on each one, and this is going to be very rough, so I do apologize if it's not super pretty. We're going to move our basic action up there, make it a little smaller, move our other basic action up there, make it a little smaller, drag Iron Man down here. Oop. Make him a little smaller, so that's good enough. Becky, make her a little smaller, put her, she's a little taller than Iron Man, that's okay. Make that a little smaller. And that a little smaller. So that was kind of roughly, I think, the playmat view we had with the Dice Masters source. Something that just bothered me a little bit was that the basic actions were never rotated like they are on the playmat. Easy enough to do. With this, we can just go to transform, and we're going to rotate this one. Let's go clockwise. So we got that set up like that, and then we're going to take this one and we're going to rotate it, transform, counterclockwise 90 degrees. And then let's go to our player 2 scene. Pretend this is the player 2 mat, and we want to create another nested scene. This time we're going to take the playmat view, put it in there, and that's it. Now you've got your webcam going on, you've got your playmat, you got your play area, and if you want to set this up as a virtual camera when you're having the match, whatever, sky's the limit. You can put the cards wherever you want, however you want. They're all scenes and sources within OBS. That's the basics. If you found this helpful, please feel free to give us a like or a comment below. If you did not find this helpful, feel free to give us a dislike and still give us a comment below. Either way, please subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate any support you give us. If we can get, let's shoot for 20 to 25 likes. If I can get 25 likes, I will show off the advanced version of these tools, which do a lot more than what these do. Really cool for the Twitch integration. But otherwise, that's the basics. Check out dmNorth.com for the article to kind of give you all the little bits and bobs that you need. If you have any questions, again, hit the comments below, hit us up on all the socials. dmNorthTV is our handle on all of those. Talk to us on Facebook, through the website, on Discord, wherever you need, we'll be here. I'm happy to help out if you're having trouble. I hope you found this helpful. Again, thank you for watching. Always appreciate it, and have a great night.